Good morning. Morning to all of you who are following the story of Joseph. It is a beautiful day today. The sun is shining outside, and I haven't heard the birds sing yet because I've got to go outside, go on my walk, and hear the birds sing. Okay, so far we got to that place where Joseph interpreted dreams to the butler or the cupbearer and the baker, and those interpretations came true. And Joseph was hoping that the cupbearer would remember him and get him out of prison. But I think life got into the way. We all sometimes promise to do things, and life gets in the way and we are not able to do it. And sometimes we totally forget. So forgetfulness played a huge part in the life of the cupbearer, and he forgot about Joseph. This is the time that things are going to move very swiftly in Joseph's life. Okay. Did he give up? We don't know. But if you had hope for something to happen, especially in our microwave generation where we click our fingers or we touch a button and something happens, waiting for something for a whole week can be very stressful. Especially if you expect it to happen like yesterday. But Joseph did not just wait for a week. He waited for months, for a whole year, for 2 whole years, and had nothing whatsoever. I want to share my own experience when I entered one of my poems into a poetry competition. And it took over 6 months and I had nothing. So my thought was that my poem wasn't good enough, and therefore maybe it was not even looked at, because at competitions so many entries, so many poems would have been sent or stories would have been sent, and those people who organize the competition will have to read through every single one. And sometimes when they get the number of poems that they need, the rest don't get a look at. And any publisher will let you know that submissions, not all the submissions are looked at. So I got to that place where I accepted that, well, maybe my poem, I was either not good enough or it didn't even get a look at. And so when I got the letter to say my poem had been chosen for an award, I was blown away. And I only waited a few months. And for Joseph to have waited 2 years and had nothing at all, I'm tempted to think that he may have given up. Or, being Joseph, he would have kept hoping. And last week I said that he had the patience to wait and the grace to hope. Okay, so we all need that. We need the patience to wait, the right time, and the grace to keep hoping. Okay, so this is the time that Joseph's dream is about to come true. How fantastic was that? But for Joseph's dream to be fulfilled, Pharaoh had to have a dream. So now the boss himself, the god of Egypt, had a dream. And he called all the magicians and all the wise men, told them his dream, and nobody could interpret it. Is it possible that perhaps you have a gift, or you have a talent, or you have an experience, you have a way of working that nobody else works that way? And there are people that, you work with, and you know that when you give them an assignment, it will get done. I've been blessed in my career as a writer. I've been blessed with people who I can call on, and I know that they will answer. Sometimes it's just a text message, and whatever assignment I gave to people, they did it, and that's a great blessing. It's a great blessing to have people who just know what to do, and they do it. And so here is Pharaoh with all his magicians, with all his wise men of Egypt, and nobody could interpret his dream. And what was Pharaoh's dream? Today we'll just look at one of his dreams. He had two dreams on two different nights. And so the first dream was that he was standing by the river Nile, and 7 fat cows came out of the river. Okay? In some African countries, to dream of a cow is a big thing. Africans have their way of interpreting dreams. And seeing a cow in your dream is not a very good thing. But Pharaoh didn't see just one cow. He saw 7 fat cows. And today it's come into the language. People talk about the fat cows. And so Pharaoh saw these fat cows come out of the river, and they were just grazing in the green meadows. And then 7 lean cows also came out of the river. They were so lean, they were so emaciated. And they ate the fat cows, and they were still lean. I would have thought that was a nightmare because cows don't eat cows. And for Pharaoh himself to dream that dream, can you imagine the whispers going on among the magicians? This is a weird dream. Could it be that it was due to something he ate? Oh, the baker had been killed 2 years previous, so nobody could blame the baker for that. So what did Pharaoh eat to make him dream a dream like that? Sometimes we get nightmares and people say, maybe it was in the mushrooms you ate, or maybe it's something you ate, or maybe the last drink you had in the night, or maybe you watched a film and it pried on your mind. I don't think there were films in those days, or maybe the entertainment that Pharaoh watched in his court. Any reason could be given for this very weird dream. Cows, eating cows? Okay, I'm not going to go on too long today. So today, Pharaoh has a dream nobody could interpret. And I am tempted to say Pharaoh had a nightmare of cows eating cows. And his second dream was similar to the first one. He had another dream the second night. And the dream was he saw these beautiful fat ears of corn. I come from a farming background, and there's nothing beautiful than to peel the leaves of the corn and see the ripened corn. So beautiful, okay? And so Pharaoh saw this ripened ears of corn, fantastic ears of corn, very, healthy looking. And then after that, he saw another group, another 7 ears of corn, which were emaciated, very thin, as if they've been in the sun and you couldn't even see the corn. And the corn, the ears of corn, the thin ones, the emaciated ones, ate the fat corns. Who can interpret this? This is weird. Corn don't eat corn. Cows don't eat cows. But that was Pharaoh's dream. And nobody could interpret that dream. And so tomorrow, I will continue about when the cupbearer finally remembers Joseph. Finally remembers that, oh, that boy in prison, he can interpret dreams. Joseph's time is coming up. So tomorrow we will continue this story, and then you will understand why I wrote my poem, Dreaming Joseph. Why I thought if I could interview Joseph, with all that happened to him in his journey and with all that is yet to happen to him, what would Joseph say to me in the 21st century? So, Dreaming Joseph is coming up. Joseph's time of fame and fortune is about to be realized. And tomorrow, I am not promising you. In Africa, when you hear good news, you dance. Okay? And tomorrow's version of the story calls for a real African dance. I'm not sure if I can dance with you. But if you dance when you hear good news, get ready. And tomorrow you can dance with me. Have a good day.